Dazzle is good in the support role. Shadow Fiend's quite good too because he's another kind of high stat agi hero with lots of armor against the Lifestealer starter. And yeah, they'll ban Dazzle, they'll ban TB, basically protecting this starter Lifestealer duo by making sure that some of the counter picks aren't available to VP.
Is there like a secret strategy, or I don't know, anything like off the wall that Navi could pull out that could catch VP off guard? We saw Navi was banning the Meepo versus VP. So, I would consider that like kind of like a pocket pick or a bit of a surprise pick. Granted, they've run it before. Is there anything like that for Navi or not really?
Yeah, I think they've done a few kind of cheesier pocket strats, which mostly are these very early game push strats that we've seen them go high ground a lot, around like 15 to 20 minutes. There was even a game earlier against Empire where like at 15, 16 minutes, they pushed a tier 3 tower with like a pretty ordinary draft. They actually lost that game, but they pushed high ground like super early. So maybe they go into like a Chen strat, or at least have like very early game push. And VP's a team that kind of hits their stride around like I'd say 15 to 20 minutes. So if you can win the lanes and push early, I think that you can maybe strike at a time before VP is particularly strong. I think last game was kind of like an abnormal VP game. They crushed the early game and laning stage based on some great individual play from Ramses, but that's kind of an atypical VP game. VP normally have a much more passive early game and then group up as 5 and play their best in the mid game.
Okay, so let's see what Navi do. The troll gets grabbed now by VP. And with this, definitely that push potential ramps up a lot. Navi going into the CM, which is a very like aggressive support, but not any particularly like mana dependent hero grabbed as of yet who clearly needs that brilliance aura. So that's a little curious.
No, it's kind of a greediest. It can be a greediest support. Not this doesn't have to always, but given that they've got Lifesteal in the safe lane, who doesn't need a whole lot of help, it's a hero that can hit up the jungle, get a fast aura for the team. But like, yeah, who are you giving the aura to? Starter Lifestealer gets some benefit from it, but not amazing benefit by any means.
Well, I mean, the specter of that Dendi Invoker, you always wonder, is that something Navi are thinking about? Like comfort picks, bread and butter.
Yeah.
Could go well with the Infest Bombs as an Exhort Invoker, but then gets real greedy real quick.
Oh, Sven as a
It's the Slardar counter, I guess. We've seen support Sven picked up, I think it was actually in the NA qualifier group stage. Maybe it was Freedom who ran it. I can't recall, but I did see a support Sven. And obviously Warcry is fantastic against heavy physical damage. So, it's possible. I mean, honestly, could be a carry Sven, though. It's not too common nowadays with the battle trance. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, we're seeing the troll played in the mid lane quite a bit. I mean, Navi's done it in 2 of their recent games, and Navi going to get. I've talked about like the 5-man early push. Enigma's definitely a hero that complements that, and it's a hero that's going to be a very good pseudo counter to the Sven troll. 2 kind of melee-ish heroes, very easy to set black holes on them. You are picking it into a Rubik, but last time I saw Navi run the Enigma, it was Will casting that into the Rubik. He just got the BKB, the Lincolns, had all the ways of answering to the Rubik, and then still found some good black holes.
Last ban for every game type thing. VP Navi where they're like, let's ban what they're comfortable running.
10 seconds remaining.
Like how likely it is to be.
5 seconds remaining.
And if you're Navi, imagine after seeing the Sven, the troll, these high armor heroes, you are thinking let's get like a more magic damage based mid hero, at least a hero with a bit of magic and physical damage. Tinker would have been good. Invoker still, I think Invoker's a really good pick here. As much as they've struggled to win with the hero, it seems like a good option for them to give them a secondary carry to go with Lifestealer. You don't want like a single core Lifestealer. It's very all in at that point. Invoker's a good kind of scaling hero, has good damage, pushes pretty well. If not him, maybe a Shadow Fiend could also be decent.
Really good.
Reserve time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Very frail. They intend to build tank.
Spirit.
Need a lot of space and time, so they
Ooh.
Silencer.
Navi convinced this is actually when they banned the Meepo, and he insta picked Silencer, so suddenly Enigma's life is miserable. This also will make Ember
Yeah, they seem to be planning to pick that silencer regardless. Then they see the Ember, they're probably like picking it even faster, like jamming their finger on that.
Can you pick it faster than they did? I'm pretty sure they were mashing the pick button there.
Yeah. But Ember, yeah, so we talked about how they want to get some magic damage and not go all in on physical damage now that the Sven's been picked up, and Ember's, I guess, kind of the other alternative there for a very heavy magic damage hero, but tough game to play in Ember. The silence is going to be tough to deal with. Even the mid matchup against the Troll isn't necessarily great for Dendi, but we'll have some help likely from the RMN roaming slider.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, let's see how it develops. Dendi had an excellent showing on the Ember Spirit in game 3 of the previous series. Ended up carrying the team to victory, but it was not against the Silencer, and that will certainly make things a bit trickier. May even force his hand like towards, I don't know, a Manta style potentially, which has not been a very popular Ember item as of late. You know, it's just been that very heavy like magic damage build, not so much like a physical DPS style. But
yep.
I don't know how else he deals with this global.
I think there's enough of a threat, like Slider Life. So, like, I think we're like you're looking at the Ember and you see like, okay, there's silence. It's going to be a tough game, but then you think how a fight's going to begin, and like in my mind, it's like, well, Slider Lifestealer in Fest Bomb, if they catch the Silencer or catch a core hero, even if Dendi gets caught in the silence, like you say, you can go for a Manta, you can go for an item like a BKB to get out of it, and still manage to do okay. I actually quite like this Navi draft. I think it's easy to look at it like in terms of counter picks and be like, oh, they have Ember into Silencer, they have Enigma into Rubik and Silencer as well. How are they going to team fight if they can't get Black Holes off or if Ember's silenced? But I think they have a fairly easy approach to fights with the cheap pick-off capabilities of Slider Lifestealer. Their lanes are solid. The Ember benefits a lot from the CM aura. Same for the Enigma. They can play greedy too. Like Enigma's just going to likely just try and farm up the fast mech. Maybe even go for something like a -2.
Pycat does get scouted out here. He will immediately skill rage and run the hell away. Dodging a bullet, just barely out of range of that initial lift. May have been able to skill rage and get it off in time anyway after the lift, but it would have been a close call and a dangerous chase. So VP going for the early smoke invasion. Instantly you can see Navi the replies for General to think about stealing the enemy bounty rune. As they still manage to catch one, RMN actually gets caught by the lift and gives up a very avoidable first blood. Ward got planted around the trees. I don't think he realized VP had vision there, but that was definitely sloppy.
Yeah, shouldn't be giving that one. You should just expect them to stick around to secure that bounty rune and not even go near it. But VP get a freebie, and that is an early +2 for no one silencer. It is going to be the mid-core silencer. We kind of talked about the possibilities with Troll going mid and Sven in the carry role. It will be Lil on the support 4 position Sven, and the core silencer for the mid lane. A tough matchup for Dendi to deal with.
So yeah, they're going to try and dual lane here, but Silencer with the glaives just laying into Biver, forcing him back immediately. Dendi does have the stout shield, but already you can see that harassment adding up, and Ember not going to be happy, gods, with this 1v1. He'd much rather be laning against a troll, I would say, than a Silencer. He's
probably making the call, like, help me out ASAP. RMN and the CM is probably going to hit a fast level 2 in the jungle, then smoke up. I feel like he needs to smoke up with the CM and Slider, perhaps. Curry at mid. Lil was fishing around, but not easy as a Sven to get that one.
Yeah, he does have the wind lace, but still quite a dive to pick it off. So they'll see Ramsey's bottom. It is going to be an off-lane troll. The lanes have definitely been mixed up a bit. So you got the Centaur in the safe lane. And not really much of a kill lane versus a Lifestealer, but still should be good farm for the Centaur. Early on, it appears to be good farm for Ramses as well, already 4-2.
Yep.
And obviously, mid lane going great. So with the first blood, 3 lanes going well. It's VP off to the races again, nice and early.
Yeah. The idea was definitely that they wanted to, much like the Slark, pressure the Lifestealer's early game laning stage. It's a hero that similarly doesn't do well in the laning stage, so they wanted to aggro tri-lane him. Pycat, again, knowing kind of what's coming his way, dodges the lane, but finds himself still in a tough lane. Like, he may have dodged the aggro duel / tri-lane, but he's up against, well, a dual lane up top now. It doesn't have the troll in it, but it's still got the Centaur there, and it's still a very dangerous lane to be in.
Finding the catch here on Ramses. General even moving in. Doesn't have any Eidolons to work on him with, though, and Ramsey's already with the completed poor man shield, so quite durable. In fact, just turns on General, starts running into the Eidolons and into the hero, and really doesn't care.
Yeah, started TP'd out and is going for that smoke rotation with Iron Man. He doesn't have any mana for Crush just yet. He'll have it in about 10 seconds time, maybe a little bit longer.
There's no point in Arcane Art even yet. It's only a level 2 Crystal Maiden.
This gank has to work, I feel. Their lanes are getting crushed if this smoke doesn't work.
And even if it does, already Pycat being moved upon in the bottom lane. If Lil gets right next to him, it's going to be very hard to rage dodge this. He's not actually able to. Still has the rage now being lifted, and even if he rages at this point, it's not going to matter. They've gotten the extra damage in. He turns, he drops the open wounds, and he tries to run. Maleficent there, not going to happen. VP run and gun him down, and now straight onto General. While that's going on in the mid lane, you can see the chase for No One, who already killed off Dendi during that dive. Biver might get this kill to Salve as he heads to high ground, sprinting his way forward, pops the Fairy Fire and the Curse of the Silent, and No One will still fall, but it's a death for Dendi, and it's a big win again for VP.
Wow, yeah, he got with the high ground ward, got the solo kill on Dendi as the gank came his way. That's absolutely disastrous for Navi in their early game. Dendi is just getting bullied constantly in this mid lane. He cannot last hit against No One Silencer.
And VP just showing their poise as a veteran team to bust out with no hesitation not only the Silencer pick, but the carry Silencer mid. And it has really thrown Navi for a loop. And oh, Pycat raging here. I don't know if he realizes that Solo was coming from around the tree line. They just hit the shrine. Scan.
Another smoke mid.
Oh,
perfect.
Again VP on point. The scan revealing the Navi rotation, so more time wasted. No one going to dodge this bullet and be able to go right back to pounding Dendi as soon as these supports leave. And General just off to the jungle, so he's not even laning right now. That means total free farm for the Centaur in the safe lane. They've given Pycat that bottom lane, as we talked about. And in the end, Biver's going to have the task of dealing with the Centaur, who, by the way, already 30 and 12 in CS.
They're going to come in and mess with the Enigma as well, so he'll lose his Eidolons, it looks like. But not too big of a deal. But yeah, this Enigma doesn't have his Arcane Boots yet, so his farm is slow. When you go for this Arcane Boots not soaring... Oh, Dendi in mid, getting flanked now.
He gets stunned, the chains are there, zapped, immediately breaking the Flame Guard, laying him out. VP just spanking Navi. I mean, honestly, it's just unbelievable how badly they're just shattering their confidence.
Oh, yeah.
2 games in a row.
It's so different to their last best of 3, because the last best of 3, VP was very like all 3 games were fairly close. I mean, the game Navi won and one of the games Navi lost, both very close. And VP were not looking to dominate the early game laning stage. It feels like VP made a clear adjustment since yesterday. Like, all right, let's actually focus more on the early game and beat Navi there, because laning stage wise has been a complete and utter stomp both games by VP.
Yeesh. I mean, how do they get back in? Like, is there any? It's about as bad of a start as you can get. Like, what's the path forward for Navi?
It's going to be just getting like a couple core items and using their few smokes. Like, they probably have 1 smoke remaining, and they'll get another smoke around the 10-minute mark. Using those smokes well, because 2 consecutive smoke ganks mid. Like, the reason that's such high risk and volatile play is because now you don't have those smokes for when you hit your blink dagger timing. I say that Slider's not going to have a blink anytime soon, but. If you're Navi, you've got to just use numbers. Like, if dive like this at bottom, you've got to TP in 5 heroes. You've got to try and do something to stop this.
Oh, they're going to bring in Dendi as well. This could be really big for Navi. They spring the trap. Can they even find that first kill on the troll? He gets frostbitten, held in position. He's still not dead yet. That armor is too much. The poor man shield saving the day. Biver is not going to let him scurry away. Not this time, he says. Crushes him down. We'll find that first kill. I think there was a TP out. Yeah, Lil just made it home, so that's all they get. But hey, it's the troll. It's a big kill. And VP did commit 3 to get nothing, so Navi will take that one to the bank. Man, if only General was 6 and had a TP scroll, perhaps he could have come in for the 3-hero black hole.
I feel like that's kind of what their way back in is. VP are going to... They've got a lineup that wants to be aggressive and trying to punish it with things like black hole there. If he had the TP, as you said, that would have been a perfect opportunity to use it there.
Iron Talon, Ember Spirit.
Yeah, desperate times, desperate measures. Very much a game where Navi are just going to have to scrap together whatever pieces of farm they can. It's not going to be pretty, but their comeback's going to be a slow, tough one. Using whatever jungle farm they can get. trying to punish VP for aggression, because as I said, VP definitely going to look to get aggressive, but they're not necessarily looking to 5-man down towers. So if you can 5-man TP when VP dive you and then take like these 5v3, 5v4 fights, that's going to be how you approach this game.
There's a smoke on RMN now, so perhaps we will see that rotation. General still holding the line here in the top lane. He's the leader in CS for Navi. Over on the side of VP. Curious to see, is this going to be a blink rush by Pasha, who is extremely close? Can tap that shrine, sell a branch, and pretty much have the blink at this point. So the first Centaur gank is likely coming soon.
Yeah.
Global cooling down as well. No one can look to get involved with this. So they'll have Global, they'll have Stampede, and they'll have a Centaur Blink debut. This is a pretty big power spike for VP.
Oh, yeah. Although, curious to see how Sven's doing. He's going just for some phase boots, not doing anything fancy in that support role. But, yeah, as it stands, Navi are just going to find more heroes running at them soon. Once, like you say, the Blink comes out. Pasha probably going to head towards bottom lane if he wants to pick it up from the side shop or bring it out on the courier. And I mean, all of Navi are not like none of the cores are really well. At least the two carriers aren't ready to fight. Lifesteal just picked up like a late boots. Doesn't even have his phase boots upgrade yet. Ember's just got his Iron Talon. Only now hits level 6. Both these two cores are really far behind. But it feels like Navi, you're not going to be able to farm your way back into this game.
There's the global in the mid lane.
Bit of a panic, but
I think it was just a panic global by no one, but. Hey, he's a carry silencer. He's happily farming up with this DD rune. Does not want to be giving up kills.
Smoking mid.
Dendi, triple remnant forward. Is it going to connect? He does get the chains. The Stampede's there, but the crush clips him, keeps him in position. Can they find the damage, though? It doesn't seem like it. Crystal Maiden goes down. Dendi goes down as well. That's two that have fallen to the wrath of no one. Viper crushing helplessly as he gets cursed. It's a +6 for no one. Give this man 10 stolen intelligence. More than 1 stolen int per minute this game. Oh, God.
Yeah, I was thinking about like what do Navi do? They're getting crushed. Like how do they initiate and find kills? Like I don't think they farm their way back in this game. It's the right approach to go for these kills, but the play perhaps there was to actually bring light. I think the infest into Ember would have been better off.
The play is to die here, guys.
Yeah, it's changed.
Blink Centaur Stomp comes 2-9. I don't think they're going to be given a chance to let this go to 322 again for the fans.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I think Lifesteal just has to go and infest into Ember and be like, look, this is dumb, but how else do we win this game? Like, let's just bring all our five-man unit, a phase boots Lifesteal, infest into an Ember and hope for the best.
And they're going to try.
He's hoping for the best up top.
Something like that. Biver swinging in from the side. They move on to Solo, who steals the open wounds. Not the most useful spell. So Solo likely down, but they're chasing for more. Dendi finds the chains. It does connect to Ramses. Will the follow-up be there? They didn't get the crush that they needed, but they find the Malefice on Lil. Chasing him out. Pops the Warcry. Continues retreat. It seems like VP going to scramble away with Ramses. They'll lose their support Sven, but the crucial kills not being given up. None of the cores go down. So VP cutting their losses and continuing to farm up a storm.
Yeah, they were able to find some kills outside of the ulti cooldown, so there was no global or even the Stampede was still cooling down initially there, so good aggression from Navi, and I think that's what they got to do is just make sure like they abuse the fact that after they die and like feed a few kills, they're going to respawn very quickly, and VP are going to have cooldowns, maybe be low on mana. Run at them, just keep running at them, keep looking for kills. Heroes like Ember and Lifestealer are not flash farming heroes. They're heroes that want to farm kills to get back in the game. So running at VP is going to be the way to approach this game, as tough as that is going to be. And
oh, VP, they have their own running at Navi plans in mind. Blink Stomp starts off, double edge follow-up. There's the quick lift, Stampede to secure it. VP, it's like a well-organized Special Forces strike force. They just move in under cover of smoke and quickly delete Dendi from the map. Highcat open woundsing the creep just to ensure Solo can't steal anything more juicy.
Already a complete 4-staff on Silencer, so keeping on top of him gets trickier now with that bit of extra movement, and they take the tier 1 mid. They're already swinging down towards bottom. They just want to go from one objective to the next. very likely we see a VP team that can threaten high ground very early on. Sento's even going straight into the Ags. Like, he's not stopping off for any kind of a full staff, no hood, no vanguards. He just wants to make sure he gets that team item as soon as possible.
All right, this would be a really big kill. They find this kill top. They might be able to also grab a tower as well, but Ramsey's hiding deep behind that tower. He's actually going to TP out. He senses something's not right, and away he goes. So I'm looking at item selections here, gods. Pycat going into a Midas. It's a very late Midas for what should be a one-position lifestealer. But it kind of feels like, you know, you said they can't farm their way back into it, but he feels like he has no choice.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to like farm his way back in. It's still an item that like you may as well buy it in the hopes that it will keep you keep some gold coming your way. Actually, he's going to go back to the armor. If you go for it, it's actually not bad on lifesteal because it does pretty good damage. The hero just needs attack speed to go with his rage. But looks like he is going to go for the armlet, or at least he's reconsidering his Midas purchase.
VP continuing to ramp up their aggression here. They invade deep into Navi territory and now start to threaten this tier 2 tower bottom. The array of deep wards have been planted down, and Navi, they have a gambit. It's into the Roche pit they go. They do have amplify damage. They have the Eidolons. They can take this Roche. And so far, VP showing no signs of contesting. Not sure they realize it's happening. It's not the most conventional Roche lineup.
Pit, but that's not going to see anyone unless they poke their heads out. And I think the Roche will become obvious now that they'll see no one on the high ground. And that's like, all right, they're probably Roshing, but let's take the free tier 3. If possible, Navi will finish Roche and then 5-man defend. They needed perhaps pop a shrine in their base.
Oh, General actually threatening to go in here. At least a little bit. So they get the Aegis. Pycat will seize it. This could be the start, guys. Do you believe? It's only a 2,000 experience deficit. It's a big gold lead for VP. It's not that big of an experience lead.
Yeah, it's still... This game is definitely still winnable. I feel like last game was more of a... maybe slightly more of a one-sided affair in some ways. Just because Navi have like these good options to find kills to get back in. They've got the blink on Byver now, so they can go for those Slaughter lifestealer ganks. They've got a mech on Enigma. They've actually got a decent team fight, and they've stopped VP's timing. VP were likely going to look to break high ground with that first Roche, and now there's no Aegis. So if VP want to push high ground, they're going to do it without an Aegis, and they just don't have the farm or the heroes to really do that. So blocking the Aegis from VP is going to work very well for Navi here.
Is this where like you consider putting Lil into more of a carry role? He seems to be building back towards an armlet, so is VP considering something like that, like just to give them a better base breaker as a frontliner? Obviously Silencer pretty weak in terms of killing off buildings.
Yeah, at least get like be slightly more of a core, perhaps some utility.
Those reactions by Solo though, are you kidding me, man? He's actually gonna get away because of it. The lift there, Pycat did pop out. They even got the crush, but it just wasn't fast enough. The Stampede came out. Now Pycat's on the run. Aegis insta-popped. Global is still available, so General can't global unless he gets no one, and that's a very tall order. Lildo low, Dendi rolling in, and he's gonna manage to find that Rubik, holds him in position. He doesn't have access to no one, though. He was really searching for the hole. The open wounds is there to keep Ramses at bay. They're still fishing around like they want to go back in, but Dendi down, and I think without their main chaser available, they'll have to disengage. It could have been worse for Navi.
Definitely could have. They would have.
It's actually a gold. It's a gold win. So.
Yeah, lose 2 heroes, win on gold. Well, I guess one of them was an Aegis, so yeah, they lose an Aegis and an Ember and get the 1 kill. But yeah, not killing that Rubik at the start really hurts them. But ultimately, you kind of look around like the VP side, and it doesn't really feel like the game should be ending anytime soon. Heroes are still very low level, like level 7 supports and stuff. Like there's a lot of time left for Navi to try and recover and make plays around this Blink Dagger that they've just got. Enigma now has a Grieve, so we can get out of the global silence, which is definitely nice, although for the most part Silencer is holding the ultimate, waiting for that black hole to come out. And that's something which he'll have problems dealing with until he has a Blink Dagger, which may allow him to get on top of Silencer to stop that global silence from happening.
VP marches down the mid lane, completed Hurricane Pike, now up a no one. Up to 14 stolen int, so no longer that impressive 1 per minute, but one good fight can change that real quick. We'll roll onto the tower here. Ramsey's getting to work, and meanwhile, to the north, Solo able to scurry away. The power of the Stampede works its magic again, and now they chase on to Pycat. We've still yet to see a black hole. In general, just not going to be able to execute one until this global gets used, but no one sees no need to use it. So Dendi split pushing, has grabbed the Veil.
Very patient play from no one, just not... Earlier on in the game, it was always these aggressive, very early global silences, but since the kind of 5v5 oriented team fights have started, he's not using global silence. His duty is to cancel black hole.
We're going to see an infest attempt here.
Dendi at bottom's being chased.
Uh-oh. Caught out by Pasha. And still no global. They're just finding these pickoffs off the blink stop initiation, and simultaneously they make that move on the top lane. Looking for Lil, but again, it's support for core, the trade for Navi. And it's just adding up here, the number of times they're unable to find clean kills on core heroes. They do complete Greaves on general now, so he's got a way to remove the global.
Yep. Definitely will help them out a bit. May find a follow-up pick-off. Oh, no blink crush on the Ramses. Didn't even have the follow-up damage, really. Lifestealer wasn't with him. But Pycat, at least, armlet close to an Echo Saber. His ability to burst heroes with the Slardar starting to amp up a little bit more.
Game definitely slowing down, and I think Navi probably happy with that overall. You look at VP, like not that many flash farmers, really, aside from the Sven. And it's a support Sven at that, so perhaps this slow and sedate pace is their way back into the game.
It's definitely, yeah, more suitable to them. It allows them to be the ones looking for openings, playing around the Infest cooldown, trying to find pickoffs using that Slardar. And it's constantly, Navi are the ones being the aggressors now. I think they recognize that they can just keep going for these ganks with Slardar Lifestealer. Even if they're getting one-for-one trades, it's still a gold advantage for them, and it's space for Dendi to just keep farming. Dendi is still very far behind, so anything they can do to help give him room to get more items is going to go a long way.
Iron Man dropping a ward here, and TP's out. Ramses sees him. No, doesn't get the first hit bash. I was going to say RMN has not had the most fortuitous game, but that would truly be some awful luck. As they scan the side shop, they find Biver and Pycat. Oh... Navi, are they going to get cold feet here in time? They could infest blink out and get out of here real quickly, but they're not going to have a whole lot of time to react as VP converge. Hey guys, how you doing? Lift there to start, Stormbolt to follow, connects on 2, global over the top. That's when you commit it. 2 very crucial kills, and again to VP. Up to 22 stolen it, so no one continuing the onslaught.
Oh, he's got, yeah, full Rod of Atos now, so that long-range initiation and disable is available to him. Really good against the Ember as well. So
I mean, more importantly, the Centaur Ags gods. It's very close.
That's really the big item. The second, like, a Slardar blink, like, Infest Bomb happens, you just pop Stampede. And even if that hero is stunned, the damage block should be enough to keep them alive. So, VP just going to fall back. They're in no rush. I'm sure they can feel just how far ahead they are in this game. Navi, yeah, they're getting a few kills here and there, having some one-for-one trades, but all of VP's cores are getting out of control, and even the supports are getting the necessary items to be effective this game.
Navi definitely going to fight to the bitter end, and so far VP not really showing signs of threatening that high ground. So the shrines remain in play, at least for now. The next Rosh coming soon, and we do see a blink picked up on the Rubik and on the Enigma. So just as General gets a little bit better at potentially catching the Silencer, the Rubik gets better at stealing that black hole and turning the fight anyway.
Yeah, the instant smoke from Navi, perhaps trying to find a fight while Global Silence is still down. One less thing for Enigma to worry about.
Could be a really big timing opportunity here, and they have to expect VP will come to defend this tower mid, given how far ahead they are. And in fact, the TP's here is going to instantly break Biver's smoke. They do not see this yet, though. Navi are ensconced in the darkness. Radiant scan connects. They will know heroes are in the neighborhood. They break the smoke. Blink Crush to start. General there to follow. Goes for the black hole. It's an airball. And Solo's going to steal it for himself. This is how you black hole, he says. Jumps right back in. The remnants come through, but Dendi lifted, denied. 3 dead. Hole blown. Navi are in shambles.
that's the kind of fight that just makes you want to call GG. Even though it's like the game 3 decided you're probably not going to, but that is that's a tough one to bounce back from. I think at that point, like emotionally, you're just beat. You whiff the black hole that gets stolen, Rubik gets the bigger black hole off himself, and they went all in on that troll, and they couldn't even kill him.
An ugly showing here, and for Navi, this could be the end of the line. Looking at the first CIS major for a chance to represent the homeland. It doesn't seem like that's happening. It seems VP are the new kings of CIS, and as of yet.
Yeah, they can.
Not much life left in this Navi corpse.
And they're just a very disciplined team. I mean, VP have been the first consistent CIS team in such a long time. They've been at the top of the CIS Dota for a good, basically since TI at this point. They've had perhaps a few disappointing results at international lands, but it's never been like a disappointing in the sense that they've lost to teams they shouldn't. It's more disappointing because people thought like they were going to be good enough to beat EG or good enough to beat an OG, and they've always just maybe fallen short against some of the Tier 1 teams, but who they haven't fallen short is against the teams that they're supposed to be, teams who are like on the rise, like Navi. They're good, they're improving, they're getting better, but to take on VP is a tough ask.
They can't even kill the damn range creep in the pit. Tendy gets scared and runs away, and VP, no such hesitation, straight into the pit, straight onto the Roshan. There is no black hole for this fight, and there is a global silence. I mean, talk about a difficult engagement. They're going to global now, right as the jump in comes. Navi were trying for the Infest Bomb in the rear, and Lil charges into the fray. That's a support Sven, mind you, who's hitting like a core. The silencer brought down, next onto the Enigma. 3 gets slain, and now VP, they'll take the Roche too. They might even grab Dendy, should he dare to stick around.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a Roche, and this is a high ground push coming any moment from VP.
I mean, went for the steal, won't get it, but he'll pay for this with his life. +2, +2, +2. 36 intel stolen. Well,
He's almost 200 a pop.
Yeah. he's hitting hard, and well, not a whole lot. If this was any other game, very likely you would have seen a GG call. Even without a Rax taken, it's very clear that this game is more or less over at this point. Pash is just taunting his way to victory on the high ground. He's feeling good about himself, and he knows that there's nothing Navi can do at this point. Even Ramses, whoa, bit of BM from Ramses. He's being pinged, I think, by no one. The youngster is showing Navi who's boss.
Well, gods, the good news for Navi is they can still attend the major.
They killed Lil and GG'd out. I love it.
It's in Kiev. They'll be there anyway. But you can still meet Navi, guys. They just won't be competing.
Yeah. And you can see here, I mean, good sports. Everyone congratulating VP. I don't think, I mean, some taunting and BM aside at the end, these guys have been playing each other and competing against each other for some time, so I don't think there'll be any ill